The global trading system is undergoing a fundamental transformation. The era of unfettered globalization and free trade is giving way to a new era. This new era is defined by strategic competition and national interests. Understanding this shift is crucial for countries like Pakistan, as they navigate the complexities of the 21st century global economy. For decades, the prevailing consensus was that free trade was the path to prosperity. This consensus is now being challenged. The rise of China, the backlash against globalization in developed countries, and the COVID-19 pandemic have exposed the vulnerabilities of an interconnected world. The new reality is one of strategic trade. Countries are increasingly using trade as a tool to advance their geopolitical interests. This includes securing supply chains, protecting domestic industries, and gaining a competitive edge in critical technologies. This shift has significant implications for Pakistan. It presents both challenges and opportunities. Pakistan must adapt to this new environment to thrive in the decades to come. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked the beginning of a new era. The Cold War had ended, and with it, the ideological divide that had split the world for decades. A new era of globalization and free trade emerged. The collapse of the Soviet Union paved the way for the integration of former communist countries into the global economy. The creation of the World Trade Organization, or WTO, in 1995 further solidified the rules-based trading system. This system was based on the principles of free trade, open markets, and comparative advantage. During this period, developing countries were encouraged to embrace free trade as a path to economic growth. The promise was that by opening their markets and specializing in the production of goods and services where they had a comparative advantage, they could achieve rapid economic development. This model of globalization led to unprecedented economic growth. Global trade expanded rapidly, lifting millions out of poverty. However, the benefits of globalization were not evenly distributed. No country has had a more profound impact on the global trading system in recent decades than China. China's economic rise has been nothing short of remarkable. It has transformed itself from a poor agrarian society into the world's second-largest economy. China's rise has been fueled by its integration into the global economy. Joining the WTO in 2001 gave China access to global markets and massive foreign investment. China's low labor costs and vast manufacturing capacity made it the factory of the world. But its success has led to job losses in developed countries, fueling a backlash against globalization. China's state-led capitalism with subsidies and industrial espionage raises concerns about unfair competition. Its growing economic and military might challenges the global order. China seeks to expand its influence in Asia and beyond, leading to increased tensions with the United States. The United States, once a champion of free trade, has shifted its trade policy. Under Trump, the U.S. adopted a protectionist stance, imposing tariffs on China. The Biden administration has largely continued this trend. The U.S. argues these measures protect American jobs and industries. It accuses China of unfair trade practices like intellectual property theft. The U.S. is focused on strategic competition with China. It sees China's rise as a threat to its global leadership. The U.S. is countering China's influence by strengthening alliances. Section 5. Navigating the shift: the European Union's approach. The European Union, a staunch advocate for multilateralism and free trade, has also been grappling with the changing global trade landscape. The EU has been critical of both U.S. protectionism and Chinese trade practices. The EU has sought to chart a middle course. It has maintained its commitment to free trade while also taking steps to protect its interests. The EU has introduced new regulations to address concerns about Chinese investment in strategic sectors and has strengthened its trade defense mechanisms. The EU has also focused on diversifying its trade relationships. It has concluded free trade agreements with countries such as Japan and Canada and is seeking to deepen its ties with other Asian countries. The EU sees this as a way to reduce its reliance on China and enhance its economic resilience. The EU's approach reflects the challenges facing many countries in the current trade environment. It highlights the need to strike a balance between maintaining open markets and protecting national interests. Section 6. Pakistan, at a crossroads. Challenges in a changing trade order. For Pakistan, the shift from free trade to strategic trade presents a unique set of challenges and opportunities. Pakistan's economy is heavily reliant on trade, particularly with China, the United States, and the European Union. One of the biggest challenges facing Pakistan is its trade deficit. Pakistan imports significantly more than it exports, which puts pressure on its currency and foreign exchange reserves. This trade deficit is exacerbated by Pakistan's narrow export base, which is heavily reliant on textiles and clothing. Another challenge is Pakistan's difficult relationship with India. The political tensions between the two countries have prevented them from realizing their full trade potential. India's large and growing economy presents both an opportunity and a threat to Pakistan. Pakistan also faces challenges related to its business environment. Corruption, bureaucratic hurdles, and a lack of infrastructure make it difficult for businesses to operate and compete internationally. Section 7. Bridging the Gap, Technological Innovation and Industrial Growth. To succeed in this new era of strategic trade, Pakistan needs to address its structural economic weaknesses. It must move away from its reliance on low value-added exports and focus on developing higher value-added industries. This requires investing in education, research and development, and technological innovation. Pakistan needs to embrace the digital revolution and develop its information technology sector. The IT sector has the potential to create jobs, boost exports, and attract foreign investment. Pakistan should also focus on developing its manufacturing sector, particularly in areas where it has a comparative advantage. To attract foreign investment, Pakistan needs to improve its business environment. This includes tackling corruption, reducing bureaucratic hurdles, and improving infrastructure. Pakistan should also work to improve its energy security, which is essential for industrial growth. Section 8. Charting a new course. Strategic trade and Pakistan's future. Pakistan needs a pragmatic and proactive approach to strategic trade. Leverage its geopolitical position, strengthen key relationships, and pursue beneficial trade agreements. Deepen economic ties with China and diversify trade relationships. Explore increased trade with Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Focus on regional economic integration. Develop a comprehensive trade strategy for the changing global landscape. Prioritize economic diversification and technological innovation. Embrace strategic trade to position Pakistan for success in the 21st century.